In this segment, we're going to go ahead and cover the back end of the system and go through the strategy wizard tab by tab. As you can see up top here, it's made up of 7 total tabs and it's all very easy to use. It's all very orderly and organized. And I'm going to walk you through each one of the tabs and show you how to use each of the features. So first we've got strategy name. So if you'd like to rename your strategy, you can do that here. So my strategy for 50,000. Let's go ahead and start with that. So that's how you rename it. Now, if you want to make comments, you can go ahead and type anything you want in here. You can just make notes for the strategy if you'd like. The comment section is really for you to, take notes on your strategy if you need to make any notes or make any comments while you're running a strategy and testing one. So let's go ahead and start with the times. So this first box here says open new position time range. So what we're doing is we're going to tell the robotic trader what time we want it to start checking to open new positions, and when to stop checking to open new positions. So for this particular trader, we have it set for 9:30 a.m., which is New York time. That's when the market opens. So you want to make sure that this time corresponds to the time on your computer. So if you're on the East Coast, you want it starting at 9:30 a.m. If you're on the West Coast, if you're on Pacific Standard Time, you want that running at 6:30 a.m. That's when the market opens. So you're telling the robotic trader when to start checking to open new positions. You will also need to set this to stop checking to open new positions. So typically we set these to stop checking to open new positions about 30 minutes before the market closes. So you can see from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. the robotic trader is looking to open new positions. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the next box. So you can see it says add shares to existing position time range. So what that means is if you are adding positions in your strategy. So let's just say, for example, that in your strategy, if any of your stocks drop by 10%, you want to add additional positions. So what you're going to tell the robotic trader to do right here is between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you want the robotic trader to be looking to add to your positions if the rules of your strategy are true. So typically most people will set this one and this one exactly the same. So between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., we just told the robotic trader, hey, look to be adding to my positions for my particular strategy. So let's go down to the next one here. We've got close position time range. So here's where we tell the robotic trader when we want it to be looking to take profit. So start checking to close positions at 9:30 a.m. Now we have stop checking to close positions at 3:58 p.m. So the market closes at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right up to 2 minutes before the market close, the robotic trader is looking to close profitable positions. So that covers that. Now let's hop down to these other boxes because I want to talk through the times. Keep walking you through this. Start closing all open positions at this time each day. This box, if you want to day trade, you would put a check mark right here, and then you would set your time for whatever time you wanted the robotic trader to close any open positions out at the end of the day. So that's only for day trading, not for swing trading. But for you day traders out there, that's how you do it. You put a check mark there, and then robotic trader is going to close any positions that it opened in the morning at the end of the day for whatever time that's set. So the next one here is close open positions that have reached their goal. So any of your positions that have reached the goal, which we'll talk about on tab 6, which is the profit requirements tab, it will close out, and this one's set for 3:45 p.m., which is about 15 minutes before the market closes. And you can just adjust that to whatever you want. It's very easy. It's all point and click. So, about 15 minutes before the market closes is a safe, good time to just close any positions that have already reached their goal for your strategy. Now, the next one here is close open positions that have made this much profit. So this is a feature that was added a few years ago. So if you are up more than, and you can just set this for whatever you want. So say that you wanted to close out anything that was up more than $50 at the end of the day. You just click $50 and you just tell the robotic trader, any position that I'm up more than $50 at the end of the day, and you can set this for 350, you can set it for 355, you can set it for any time you want. The robotic trader knows then to close that position and take that profit. So, as Ed would say, it's like finding a $50 bill on the ground. You see a $50 bill, you close out the position and you take the profit. So now that we have the time set, and we want to make sure that all of these times correspond to your time zone, a lot of our customers will actually set their dedicated computer just on New York time. That way they don't have to deal with daylight savings time. That's something that you got to be very conscious of. If you live in a part of the country where the time changes, you're going to have to come in and change the times twice a year. So a lot of folks, if they have a dedicated computer, will just set their computer time to New York time. And that's what a lot of folks do. So once you get your times in here, you can click verify start time, and it says all times appear to be okay. So if one of the times was not okay, it would give you an error message. All right, so let's go up here. Now that we've told the robotic trader what times we want it to trade, now we have to tell the robotic trader how many shares we want the robotic trader to trade. So we open this up and we'll just kind of talk through each one of these. So we've got fixed lot size. So number of shares to purchase for each trade. So this robotic trader is set to trade 100 share lots. If you want to adjust that and trade 200 shares, 300 shares, 500 shares, whatever you want to set it for, you can just tell the robotic trader how many shares you want to trade. Now, if you're running a strategy where you're adding to your positions, then you want to tell the robotic trader max shares to be purchased per stock symbol. So in this particular strategy, it's adding up to 10 times. So the max number of shares that this particular robotic trader will buy is 1,000. So if we go down to the next box, if you want to give the robotic trader a little more definition, you can. You can say lot size based on fixed dollar amount. So you would just put a check mark next to this here, and you could tell the robotic trader how much money you want to spend. So investment amount per trade will purchase as many shares as this amount will allow for each trade. So if you wanted to tell the robotic trader not to spend more than $3,000 for a position, you could do that. Or you could set it for whatever you want to do. Now you can also say maximum investment per stock symbol, and you could set that to whatever you want, and the robotic trader will follow those rules perfectly for you. So that's a nice feature for some folks that want to actually put a fixed dollar amount in there. And then you've got your minimum shares and your maximum shares per trade. Now we have another feature here for those of you that are working with a larger portfolio. A lot of folks will want to use percentages. So you could say, you can tell the robotic trader percent of buying power to utilize for each trade. And you can see this is set at 1, but maybe you want to say, don't use more than 5% of my funds available for any particular stock position. So you can give it further definition if you want to here. So that covers that section. So now you know how to tell the robotic trader how many shares you want to trade. So you're all set there. We'll go ahead and click return. We've set that. And we'll talk about the next feature, which is maximum symbols to purchase. So right here, we're just going to tell the robotic trader how many stocks we want it to buy. So remember, each one of these robotic traders will manage up to 100 positions and $2 million. So this particular one is set at 6, but you can change this to whatever you want very easily. It's all point and click. If you want to tell it 5, just click on 5. So that's how that works. Now the next one I'm going to talk about is the max bid ask range. And what that one is, it's set at a default of 0.02, and that's a safety feature that's built into the system so that you don't open up any positions with a max bid ask spread that is too wide. But if you're day trading or trading stocks that have higher volatility, sometimes you'll want to loosen that up a little bit. Most people don't need to do that, but if you want to adjust that, you can. So there's two more here on this page, and this will conclude the introduction to the Auto Trader Preferences tab. Max range to spread trades across, and minimum purchase intervals. You don't need to worry about these two. These are a couple of advanced settings that refer to this advanced preferences table and the declining preferences table. And we're not going to get into those right now, but I will cover them in a later video. So now you have pretty much covered all of the features on the Auto Trader Preferences tab, and we'll go ahead and move forward to the Watch List tab, and we'll go through how to build a watch list.